Everyone, this is Raghav Doshi from the programming division of the BSRC Alphatech, and in this video I am going to explain a special block of code known as the try-catch block. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so here I have Android Studio fully loaded up and I am going to create a new class, and so I'm going to name that catch exception because it is going to catch the interrupted exception which comes up in your programs, or any exception for that matter. Okay, and we'll implement the inheritance of op mode in here. And yeah, so now this is going to show an error as you need to implement two methods, and so you just press alt enter, implement methods, and then press enter again, and this is going to implement those two methods for you. Okay, so now you need to initialize a variable, so let's call it x, and so in init, yeah, this will be where you will initialize all your other motors, blah blah blah. And so to start, so in public void loop we'll create a for loop, and let's do x is equal to 1, x is more than, x is less than 11, and x plus plus. So what this is going to do is it is going to make a loop which is going to initialize x as 1 and set the condition for x to be less than 11, so it will run as long as x is less than 11, and okay, so now in this for loop we are gonna keep x as 1 and then set the condition for x to be less than 11, and after every time the for loop runs, x is going to be incremented by 1. And now we are gonna keep a try statement. Okay, and now this will show an error here as there is an expression which is expected, which is catch. So this is the try catch statement, and in the brackets you have got to put which type of exception this block will have to catch. And for now we are going to be putting interrupted exception because that is the most that is one of the most that exception comes up the most often in your programs. And inside these brackets we are going to be putting a telemetry statement. So we are just going to say that we have got an interrupted exception. Okay, and so what this is going to do is, so after every time this catches an interrupted exception, this is going to tell us that yeah, we've got an interrupted exception. Okay, and now this statement will show an error as there is no interrupted statement, there is no interrupted exception being thrown inside the try catch block. So we are going to put a statement which will throw an interrupted exception. So let's say wait for 5000 milliseconds, which is going to be 5 seconds. And now this statement wait, so this statement will always, and by that I mean always, throw an interrupted exception. Okay, yeah, so that was the entire program of a try catch block. Now the way to use this is, so whenever you have a program which is going to be generating an interrupted exception, which is going to be throwing an interrupted exception, so you've got to put this at the start of your block of code which throws the exception, and you've got to put this at the end, this part. So let's take a basic program, and let's say motor basic. Okay, yeah, this is just a basic program for moving one motor forward and backward. So if I want to implement my try catch block here, what I would do is try, and over here I would put, okay, wait 1 second, yeah, over here I would be putting a catch statement with interrupted exception E, one more, and then telemetry dot add data caught interrupted exception. Yeah, so that is your try catch block. And so there is a reason why this is showing an error, because we missed a bracket, and also there is a reason why this statement is showing an error, because over here we have no statement which is throwing an interrupted exception. Yeah, so I guess that is going to be it for this video. So thank you and have a good day.